All right, everyone, welcome to Reality Insider. I'm here today with Sylvia from MTV's Skeletons Real World. If you want to say hey,
Hi.
awesome. She said she just got back from the gym, but she still looks beautiful, so it's okay. There you go.
That
um,
natural sweaty glow.
oh, goodness. Hey, I'll tell you what, you look better than I do when I get done from the gym when I'm done. Like, my face is all dripping and grody.
It's a lie. I definitely put some
All
makeup on
right,
to cover
everyone,
it up.
welcome to Reality Insider. I'm here today with
Oh,
Sylvia from MTV's Skeletons Real World. Do you have the YouTube open?
I do.
Awesome.
Should
She
I
said she
not
just
open
got
it?
back from the Close gym. That.
There we go. Is that better?
Yeah, it's just because I could hear myself talking.
I could hear you talking too, and I was like, I don't know if it's supposed to be like that.
That's okay. All good now. So first questions first is my first question for everyone is how did you get cast for the real world and how did you like hear about the casting and all that stuff?
As far as for me, I know you guys met Alicia. She was my skeleton. I was actually just a reference for somebody who didn't get along with her. And they were like, "Hey, can we do an interview? I know you got your reference as somebody that doesn't get along with her. Is there any way we can set something up?" I said, "Sure." And I ended up getting casted instead of her. So that's how it happened for me.
So basically you took her spot on the show is what you're telling me. I bet that made some
No.
hatred when she came in to visit.
Oh, she was not pleased. Not pleased at all. Um, but I guess in my head, I feel like if I were to do something and somebody else got chosen, it was meant to be. Yeah, I'd be a little bit bitter and upset about it, but I wish them the best of luck. And believe me, I don't know exactly that she would want to be in this position because it's not easy.
Yeah, very true. Once you were cast, did they tell you at all what the season was going to be or anything along those lines, or what they did they have a fake season that they were calling it?
No, they told us nothing. We went into the house thinking it was just going to be us seven. They didn't specify that there was going to be a big thing. And actually, to be quite honest, each and every one of us, because we knew about the last season, went to each room and we looked around. We're like, "There's no way they can fit another bed in here. There's just no way. It's no way." We looked at every single room. We checked downstairs. We were like, "There's no way. There's no secret compartment room here. No way they're getting any beds in here." Well, fooled us because they got those little twin beds in there just fine.
That's hilarious. So, did you watch the previous seasons of Real World then? Before
I've,
your season?
I've watched previous seasons. I watched a couple episodes of the last season only because Brian was a door guy for the nightclub I work at. Uh,
Oh,
and then, of
okay.
course, his ex Jenny is also from Kansas City. So I watched because of him a few of the episodes. I didn't really watch all of them, but
Oh, okay. Very cool. So how long were you guys inside the house before the first skeleton, which we find out was yours, showed up?
I'd have to say we were in the house for at least a month and a half. So, I mean, and we kept getting like Violetta's the first one who had an inkling that somebody or something was going to happen. There was going to be a twist. So we are like, okay, maybe. Well, then we kept waiting for it and waiting for it and waiting for it. It never happened.
Oh,
So we were like, well, it's probably not going to happen. Let's just let it go. Let's enjoy our time in Chicago. Sure as enough, the moment that we actually start to relax, in comes the skeletons, and
I know.
mine being the first one.
I'm sure they did that on purpose too. Did you have like a favorite moment from that we didn't see before all the skeleton and craziness happened when it was just you seven?
Gosh, I really hope they show it. I'm not sure if you guys have seen some of our Twitter talks back and forth, but we talk about the Pillywiggins, and we like to call it the
Yes.
Pillywiggins night. The Pillywiggins came and destroyed our house. Now, you can talk to Bruno, talk to Tony about it. They know all about the Pillywiggins. And I guess they're these little bitty fairies with wings that somehow manage to carry stuff from downstairs. Not light stuff, but heavy stuff from downstairs all the way upstairs and barricade myself, Madison, and Violetta in our room. I don't know how it happened, but apparently the Pillywiggins did it. And I pray that they show show that scene because that was hands down one of the funniest things I've ever seen, ever witnessed, experienced. It was so funny because the boys were just so dead set on the Pillywiggins did it. So it was hilarious. And
Oh,
it's unfortunate because there's so many funny times in the house. It's not all drama. It's not all of us fighting, but so many times where
Wow.
we were just laughing, and that was my favorite.
I know we never get to see the good times like that. We just see the drama parts because that's what makes good TV, I guess. But
Right. The good TV.
yeah, I know it stinks though. So we see you bonding a lot with Violetta, and pretty much that was like your first person I think you bonded with. Would she be the first person you bonded with the most, you think?
Actually, and I, they really don't show up, but Bruno was actually the first person I really bonded with and opened up to. Bruno is
Okay.
actually the first one I talked to about all my past issues. He was
Oh,
actually
okay.
the closest with. And then from Bruno, it became Violetta, and then Violetta to Nicole. And
Yo,
you really
Bruno.
don't
God.
see it all that much, but Nicole and I actually talked a lot. Like when I was going through the whole dilemma with Bruno, actually just really becoming involved with Carla, Nicole was actually the one that talked me through that whole situation because obviously, as you can see, I was really upset about it. But yeah,
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. I honestly, in my head, I know that happened because I remember you and Bruno having a thing, and then I totally it slipped my mind somehow.
yeah,
I was thinking, I was like, when did you and Bruno hang out? But that's the whole point. um, yeah, that was an interesting scenario. Do we see that play out any more throughout the season, or is that kind of done?
I think you'll see a little bit more into it. Hopefully, everybody stays tuned and keeps watching because it's it's just getting started. Let's just say we started off smooth sailing. It's just getting started. That's all
I
I
was about
can
to
say.
say, you got it easy because your skeleton's here and done, and you kind of had like an easier one, I think, than
I
some of the
did.
other people are having.
Yeah, she left, and unfortunately, though, I feel like the skeletons were supposed to come into the house and cause problems with, their skeleton. I
Yeah,
feel like the skeletons came in and it caused more problems between the roommates. So
very true. Very
it's
true.
unfortunate, but it definitely happened. So
Yeah, that's a true point. She was your skeleton was an interesting character to watch, in my opinion.
it,
Um,
it was interesting. It's unfortunate they actually cut out a lot of the stuff that we did talk about, the real issues as to why we didn't get along. And I'm happy that they did because that's not something I really like to talk about, and especially I don't want to talk about on a national level. So
yeah,
I'm really happy they did, and unfortunately, not everybody knows the real reasons why um, we didn't get along.
very true. Yeah, which is probably makes it easier for you guys though. That means your whole business isn't out there.
Yeah.
Um, Now, when your skeleton came in, we see them call you away for like a super long interview. I think it was like an hour or 2 hours.
Two. It was 2 hours.
Was that normal? Like, did you think something was up in your head, or was that just normal for you guys?
Well, here's the thing. When they sent out the emails about, hey, your interviews will be once a week, they could go anywhere from an hour to 3 hours.
Oh,
So
okay.
they've just been 1.5 hours previously. When this happened, it was like a 2 hour, maybe longer interview, and I'm like, man. So then if they see that you see this short clip of they're like, all right, we're done. I'm like, we're done? Oh, thank God, because I was like, man, this is so long. Why is it taking so long? And sure enough, I come home and I should have known because there was a cameraman waiting for me outside, and that had never happened before. So I should have known better.
Yeah, very true. Did they ask you questions the whole time for that 2 hour, almost
Yes,
2 hours you said?
yes, they asked questions the entire 2 hours. Yes, absolutely.
I'd be like, can I get some food and drink while I sit here and answer your questions?
Yeah, I was like, man, I'm really hungry. And the thing is, I thought you could hear my stomach. It was growling so loud. I was like,
Oh,
oh, I am so hungry right now.
now, I noticed, I don't know if anyone else notices, but every single roommate, when they get to the house, knocks on that door. Does no one have a key to the house?
Oh, we all have keys, just nobody brings it.
Oh,
Nobody.
okay.
We
I
all
was
have,
just like,
nobody brings them or they've been lost. So.
I was just perplexed. I was like, why does everyone have to knock on the door or ring the doorbell? I was like, does no one have a key at all?
No, we all have them. We just probably can't find them.
Very true. Um, Back to your skeleton. That was just a random impromptu question because it was fascinating to me. But back to your skeleton, Alicia. When you got done with your interview and you came back, did you realize right away that something was up, that she was there, or did it take a few minutes?
Well, like I said, the cameraman outside, that had never happened to me before. I mean, I have several interviews. There was never a cameraman waiting for me outside ever to walk
Mm,
into the house. So I was like, huh, what's going on? I walk in, and then, of course, immediately everybody's screaming and shouting at me, and I'm like, what? They're like, go outside. So at that
Yep.
point, yeah, you know something's up.
That's so. What was your first reaction seeing her sitting out there?
I, I mean, I didn't really, I was just baffled and astonished that no way, this is happening. This is really happening. They really did. They really did. This is happening. Yes, it's going. So, I mean, my first reaction, I was just shocked at first. Absolutely shocked.
Yeah. Did you have any inkling that it was going to be her, or did you expect a different skeleton per se?
Um, but it had to be one of three people, and as far as my ex, I knew they couldn't bring him on there for legal reasons,
Oh,
and
okay.
it was either going to be her or my stepdad, which I do not have a relationship with. I haven't spoken to him in 8 years, so since
Oh,
my
wow.
parents got divorced, and so it was either him or her. And actually, production pulled me aside after the show was done airing and said that they tried to get my dad on there, but he refused. Shocking. So,
Well, that's
so
probably good for you though.
yeah, I don't have a whole lot of nice things to say to him.
Aw.
So it had to be one of those two.
Yeah. Well, at least you had an idea then, so it
Yeah,
wasn't just like bombarded.
right.
Um, so right away we kind of see Alicia and Madison bonding right off the bat. What were your thoughts on that?
I was pissed. I
Yeah.
was
You don't really see your anger too much with that situation.
I tried to, and I know that my anger is something I definitely need to work on. I think stems a lot from my past and the fact that I'm still not able to let go of everything from my past, which is
Yeah.
something I need to work on internally. But for me, I was just like, man, we all just moved into the house. We all want to be a family, but I don't know if I can trust somebody who's so quick to go jump and be friends with somebody I don't get along with. So I don't know. That may make me a bad person. I'm not sure, but yeah.
I don't I don't think so. I think it's a loyalty type thing when you're in that situation.
Right. And I'm
Yeah.
definitely a firm believer in loyalty. I'm loyal to a fault, I guess you could say. So.
Yeah, I understand. Um, Now, since Alicia's left and you're home, how are you guys now? Are you guys friends? Are you still bitter enemies?
For Alicia and I, we have see, unfortunately, you didn't get to see all of this. They didn't put it in there, but we said what we had to say there, and I think it's just better her and I go our separate ways. I'm a firm believer in people are seasonal. People can be put in your life for a certain time period, and you help them or they help you through that certain time period, and then you may never speak or have that relationship with them again. And I think that maybe her and I were seasonal friends, and we're just better off without each other in each other's lives. So
Well, that's good then. At least there's no hard feelings or no fighting and whatnot.
yeah.
Do you guys still work at the same place?
Unfortunately, Alicia was let go, and she has since then moved to California, where I think she's actually a lot happier there
Oh,
than
well,
she
that's
was.
awesome.
Yeah. So
I think I wanted to have her on here at one point, but I think she might have deleted her Twitter at one point. I
she
don't know
did
if it's
for
back.
a while. She did for a while, which I can understand. The things that were being said to her were not, the nicest of things, and maybe she just felt felt better just not having it up, so she didn't have to see it. Which I mean,
Yep.
I can agree with all the stuff that I've been going through the past couple of days. I can understand why she would. I actually think it's back up on now, so I mean, if you wanted to get her on there, I'm sure she would be more than happy to do so.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, I think I like to think that people aren't really bad people. They just do bad things sometimes.
People make
I like,
mistakes, you know what I
yeah,
mean? Like nobody is perfect, and if you think you are, then you are badly mistaken.
exactly. Um, Now this past week we see a lot of things going down between the fight between you and Jason having a little bit of a thing. So first of all, what were your thoughts about Jason when he was telling you that he kind of had feelings for you?
Um,
That's a
I
tough
just
scenario.
it is a tough scenario. I just feel like with Jason and I wish I could have been able to reciprocate those feelings for him.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, I had already been involved with obviously Bruno, and so my feelings were more directed towards him. Um, God, but I just feel like maybe had I given Jason the opportunity or the chance that I feel now that I should have, maybe something could have blossomed from that, and maybe it will still down the road. We just don't know.
Yeah.
Um, you guys are gonna have to see if anything happens from that. Uh, but God, Jason, and I just feel like with Jason it was all genuine too, and it's unfortunate that I was so worried about V in distress that I didn't even give him the opportunity to finish what he wanted to say. So
Yeah, I understand. I think everyone goes through a period of that moment, though. It's a tough spot, especially when you're living with them for so
yeah,
long.
yes,
Um, Now, so that was a big part of last episode. We also see the big fight. I don't know what you want to call that. I'm just going to call it a fight. Um, so we see you weren't there during the first fight when it first started,
no,
correct?
no.
I
The
didn't think
only
so.
thing I saw and I heard, because I mean, I think it shows that I'm inside talking to Jason, and then the only
Yeah.
thing I see is screaming, and when I look out the door, all I see is Madison on top of Violetta. So
Okay.
that's the first.
So walk me through this. You see Madison on top of Violetta, and your face just goes angry. You can
Yeah,
just tell. So
yeah,
you don't even know the situation. You just know that she's there. They're there fighting. We see you jump in and instantly grab Madison, basically, and I
right.
guess like chokehold her. I guess is what you'd call that. What are your thoughts at that moment? Like, what puts you in that angry spot? That's your first reaction.
Honestly, I don't even think I had thoughts at that moment. I think my first instinct, I guess, or reaction to it was protect Violetta.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I mean, I have a really bad tendency to kind of black out when I get that angry to the point where I don't know what I'm doing exactly until after the situation's done and handled, and all of a
Yeah.
sudden Bruno's scooping me up in one fell swoop with one arm. Like, um, so it happened so fast that it's just by the time I was scooped up, done, Nicole had Madison outside, I was inside making sure V was okay, and it was over with. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I guess like I said, loyal to a fault. God, I love Violetta so much, and she had my back 110%, which is more than Madison ever did. So
Yeah.
I know if you people hate me for that, then that's unfortunate. But
I gotcha.
do anything for the people.
Now we see after the fight basically happens. We see you guys have to watch the video. They make you watch it. What are your thoughts during that when you actually see what was going down?
When I actually see what's going down is, God, I hate to, man, that was a really rough chokehold.
It was. It
It
was rough.
It was a really rough chokehold, and my first instinct is I would have done the same thing back at home. So no, I don't feel like I should apologize. Well, what they also don't show is that I have like a full conversation with Jason. And I'm like, do you think I should apologize? I mean, do you think I was in the wrong? I need to know because I do better with feedback rather than my first instinct is I'm always in the right because I'm that type of person that's like I'm right, I'm right, I'm right until somebody's like, hey, you're actually kind of wrong. And hold on one second, my little brother's calling.
Okay.
Tommy, I'm in an interview. Let me call you back. I love you.
Oh,
Um, he's my number one, so I need to make sure.
understandable.
So I talked to Jason like, he's like, yeah, you were very much in the wrong. You did not know what was going on. You need to apologize. So then that's where I'm like, okay, all right, maybe I am in the wrong, and I do need to apologize. So then we're at the fair, and I do end up apologizing to her. Watching it was rough. It was rough, but I mean, like I said, I'm not exactly sure that I wouldn't have done the same thing anywhere else. In any other situation, I probably would have. So,
So basically, what you're telling us is that you're just a scrapper and you just like to fight.
no, I don't like to fight. It's just that if I feel like it needs to get that way, then I probably would do it again. Like,
Yeah. No, I understand. I was just picking. Um, but I tell you what, though, that was a very good chokehold. So I think if you ever had to protect someone, you'd be good at it.
my dad is a Hall of Fame wrestling coach. I've grown up around wrestling since I was 2. So,
Oh goodness, don't tell Shady that. He's a big wrestling fan, like
oh, so am I.
WWE.
Greco, freestyle, man, all of it. I've grown up around it all. So,
Are you drinking a Red Bull out of a straw?
yeah, I don't want to stain my teeth.
Oh my, that's hilarious. Um, so a kind of funny question though is why did you not wear the Marilyn Monroe dress for one? Someone asked that night.
Well, I didn't wear. I mean, did you guys see how short that was?
I
I'm not
did.
exactly sure anybody saw how short that was. My woohoo would have been showing, and I didn't want that to happen.
I think the guys just don't care. They're like, you know what, just show it all.
There is no way. There is no way I could have worn that dress. It was way too short.
Where did you wear that dress to? Like, why did you pack that dress to come to Real World originally?
That wasn't my dress. That was Violetta's dress, and that's the dress that she wore
Oh,
the first night. So obviously Violetta's a little bit shorter than me. She's way skinnier, so it looked
is
better on her.
Violetta shorter than you?
What? Yeah, she's shorter than me.
Oh, see, she looks real like thin and real tall for some
Yeah,
reason on the
shorter
TV.
than me.
Oh, huh. Wouldn't have guessed that. Um, Now, okay, here's an interesting question because we see Tony's two exes come in this past week and the week before, kind of both. If you had to pick one of the three of the skeletons that we've seen so far, so Alicia, Alyssa, or Elizabeth, who would you pick to be a permanent roommate and why?
Alyssa. Alyssa.
Alyssa? Why?
Hands down, she brought the energy. She came in. She was fun. She didn't judge anybody. She was willing to get in, get to know people, and just party. And that's what we were all about, having a good time there. We weren't, you know what? I mean, regardless of your and Tony's relationship, she didn't care. She still wanted to get along with everybody. She didn't want to cause problems. She just wanted to have a good time, and that's what we were all about. So,
Very
Alyssa,
cool.
without question.
Now we see that you and Elizabeth didn't really get along. We see you
Right.
throw her stuff down the chute, whatever you want to call that.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever reconcile before she
No.
left, or was that just no?
No, not at all. And it's actually unfortunate. The fight between Violetta, myself, and Madison happened before I threw all of Elizabeth's stuff over the balcony. So if you notice when Elizabeth is leaving,
Oh.
Tony's packing her stuff up off the floor. So
Wow. I did not realize that.
she left after the night I threw all of her stuff over the balcony.
Oh wow. Powers of editing, for sure.
It's good.
That's funny. Do you
And it's funny
Go
you
ahead.
bring it up because Violetta actually liked Elizabeth at first, and
Mhm.
I loved Elizabeth. So her and I actually got into it. She's like, "I'm Team Elizabeth." I go, "I'm Team Alyssa. I don't care." So her and I actually got into it because she liked Elizabeth and I liked Alyssa. It was actually kind of funny. So,
That's like a little girl cat fight, like how they had the Twilight teams almost.
yeah. Exactly.
That's hilarious. Well, at least you guys didn't get too into it because of them too. Um, do you watch any other reality shows right now? Like, do you watch The Challenge or anything like that?
I watched The Challenge. I watched, I don't know. Yeah, I watched The Challenge. I watch How to Get Away with Murder. I watch Eye Candy. I watch Vampire Diaries, the original Scandal. I'm
That's
so
funny.
guilty of everything.
So you're just a TV watcher. I'm a TV watcher, so I
Oh my
can't
gosh.
talk.
It's so funny because most people, you know, I think they described me as a party girl in one of my things, and I'm like, yeah, by party you mean I'm at home watching Netflix with my cat. I party all the time.
That's hilarious. Well, it's a little different when you're at home than when you're in the real world house, and that's
Right.
what you're supposed to be out doing.
Right. Exactly. So,
Um, Now, an interesting question before I go into something else is, how do you get off of your work for, well, how long are you gone? 3 months? 4 months? How do you get out of your job for 3 months and still have a job to go back
I
to?
took a leave of absence. So,
Oh, okay. I was just curious. I always wonder about that. I was like, I wish I could, well, I don't work right now, but I wish I could not work for 3 months and just go
yeah,
party.
I just took a leave of absence and I came back and I'm back to the grind and doing everything I need to do.
That's all. Did you like your job that you were working in the house? We see
Oh
you
my gosh,
working.
I loved my job. I think Madison and I got lucky. We loved Vincenzo's. The staff at Vincenzo's was incredible. Our manager, Mark, incredible. They were very lenient with us. They didn't mind the cameras. So it was great. I loved the place I worked at. And actually, the cast, all the roommates and us, we spent a lot of our times at that bar. So
Yeah, we see a lot of the people that work there in the scenes too, which is really cool that they were okay with everything.
yeah.
Um, yeah, did you guys have to like go through and like apply and get interviewed and stuff, or does MTV hook that up?
Yeah, no, we weren't just handed the jobs. We applied at two different places, which is Old Fifth, which is where Tony and Violetta worked, and then Vincenzo's. And so that's where myself, Madison, and Bruno originally worked. But as you can see, Bruno didn't really like the job, so he kind of decided to he turned to stripping and hooking himself on the corner. No, I'm kidding. He didn't. He didn't, but he just decided he'd rather just hang out and have a good time rather than spend his time working. So, and
Yeah.
then Jason and Nicole ended up at Red Kiva. So,
Well, I was about to say, I feel like you have to almost work though. I don't know how Bruno can afford to party down there without working, because you guys have to pay for everything yourselves, right?
Hey,
I
listen,
thought that we see a fight about that.
I'm accustomed to a certain type of living, and that living involves a lot of dollar signs. So there was no way I was going to survive on what they were giving us. I needed more money.
Yeah, totally understandable. Um, Now you said you do watch the challenge. Who are your favorite teams on there right now?
I'd have to say my favorite team on there now. I think Jay and Jenna. I really enjoy them. I enjoy them as a team, and yeah, I like them.
Very cool. Would you ever go on the challenge after Real World?
Absolutely, I would definitely go on the challenge. I'm not sure how good I would be, but I mean, the athletic portion, heck yeah. The stuff that, you have to put the puzzle together, hell no. Like,
That's why you
no
need a
way.
partner.
I'm gonna need somebody to be able to do that for me. I can do all the athletic parts, but the puzzle thing, I'm not good at.
That's funny. Yeah, no. Well, I don't know. I think all of it's hard. Like I wouldn't do well doing some of the stuff they do on the athletic parts. Some of that just looks rough.
Well, the heights thing is what scares me. The being up that high in the air, that's where I would probably just look down and be like, on second thought, I'm probably not gonna do this.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen someone like not do it though. I think they all end up doing it
I
eventually.
know. I would end up doing it, but just know that my hands would be sweating. I might vomit a few times, but
Yeah.
I'd end up doing it. So,
Now, have you been watching the challenge for years or just this season?
I've watched it every so often. My mother is completely obsessed. Like when I say obsessed, she is obsessed.
Well, who was
And
her favorite then? Who was her
so
favorite?
her favorite, I think she's always been a CT fan. Always. I think
Probably because those big muscles.
maybe even when he was on the Real World, she loved him then. She loves him now. I don't know. So
That's hilarious. Aw. So it's kind of a family thing. There you go. Um, Now, have you had the chance to meet anyone else from the MTV family, as I call it, or are you still kind of in the process of?
no, and I'm a little upset about that. Nicole's met the Are You the One cast. Tony's met the Are You the One cast. Bruno and Tony and all of them have gotten to meet Violetta even, and I'm like, what the hell? Am I chopped liver over here? I want to meet somebody.
That's true. I didn't even think about. I forgot Nicole's met a lot of people. I always
Yeah.
look at her tweets, and she cracks me up because she'll put me and my girlfriend, and I'm like, is that really your girlfriend, or is that just a
Hey,
thing?
listen,
Like,
I need to let it be known now that that is my wife, though. We were married.
Nicole's
She
your wife.
proposed to me down in Wrigleyville, and that is my wife. So let it be known to everybody on the internet, that is my wife.
That's funny. I seen a tweet one time, and we see it on the show. Nicole eating some chicken noodle soup because she was sick, and apparently you made it for her.
I did. I did. I was here. Oh my gosh, it's so terrible. That house got everybody sick. I was sick for at least a month and a half in that house.
Well, it's probably because did anyone ever clean for real?
Yes, I clean. Myself and Madison cleaned all the time.
Really, we don't see that. Okay.
Yeah, but we cleaned all the time. But I got so sick for a month and a half. I ended up having to go to I went to 3 doctors. They ended up giving me steroids and an inhaler because
Oh wow,
I was so sick and I couldn't sleep.
that's crazy. Maybe there was some mold in there or something.
Yeah.
That's fun. Did you guys cook a lot? Because I think I've seen you guys cook like once.
No, we did cook a lot. By we, I mean Bruno cooked a lot. So,
That's funny. Is Bruno a good cook?
yeah, I think Bruno was the best cook in the house.
Aw.
Now, I'm not sure Jason never actually made a whole meal for us, but I think it'd be, if Jason cooked and Bruno cooked, I think it'd be a close tie with them. But Bruno was the best cook in the house.
That's awesome. Yeah, we never get to see, like I said, the fun stuff like that, like when you just see the random food moments.
Yeah.
But we do get to see some fun things, like we've seen some pranks happening in the house.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Prank Wars was a big thing with us.
who do you think pulled the best prank on you? And you don't have to tell me what it is if they're going to show it or whatever, but
Oh, God. I don't know. I mean, the prank war went on the entire time we were in the house. Anywhere from cupcake up my nose, ketchup in the shower, um,
ew.
shaving cream to the face. I hope they show it all. I really, really hope they show it all. Um, but yeah, so I'm not sure.
That's funny. Do you typically pull pranks like at home, or is that just a thing at the real world
Oh
house?
no, I am a prankster to the fullest. Any opportunity that I get to play a prank, I'm doing it.
That's hilarious. Oh man. Do you do like elaborate pranks? Like some people can hold out a prank for like a week. I think that's
Oh,
amazing.
oh yeah, I do anything possible to get a prank on. There was, God, I wish they could show all this stuff that we do in the house. I can't really give it away, but we did a lot of stuff. We really did.
That's hilarious. I'm sure they'll probably show it on like the shit they should have shown episode.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. I'm trying to read all the questions that are on the side here. So, oh, here's an interesting question. What was the strangest question a fan has ever asked you on Twitter, if any?
I don't know if I should say it. It was really, really perverted. I was like, this cannot be real. This cannot be real. You are not really asking that question right now.
Oh Lord. Was it
Uh,
like on a tweet or was it through a DM?
it was through a tweet. Like, disgusting. I'm like, you are not really doing that right now. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I get any random questions. I'm not sure, but I think the disgusting ones are the worst for me. I'm just like,
That's when you block.
yeah, and I do.
That's hilarious. Now, we see a lot of episodes with you guys drinking. Did you guys drink like a lot, or does it just look like you guys are drinking all the time?
I hate to say it, but yes, we drink a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate to say it. I hate to admit it, but we did. And you have to understand that you're in a house where you don't get any television, you don't get barely any internet access, no music.
Yeah.
What else do you do? Like, what else are you gonna do?
Fair point.
So,
Did you ever get any really bad hangovers while you were there drinking?
yes, yes,
Yeah.
I did. Gosh, they'll show it that I'm drinking. Do you drink? Am I supposed to be answering this right now?
What?
I'm getting questions. What is your favorite drink, and do you drink all your
Oh,
drinks with a straw?
oh yeah.
Um,
I'm just going down the whole list.
oh, okay. My favorite drink is a Moscow Mule, and yes, I drink all my drinks without a straw. I don't want it to stain my teeth. That's a real big fear of mine. Staining
That's a
my
that's a good point. I never thought about that to be honest. But I think it's funny because we always see everyone drinking, but you never see anyone like having a hangover or anything on the
Oh,
show.
I get the word. Yeah, because we're normally not waking up until like 2 o'clock in the afternoon because I'm so hungover. It's bad. It's really, really bad.
Besides you, did anyone else in the house get really bad hangovers or like couldn't hold their
Yeah,
alcohol?
we all got really bad hangovers. All of us. Every
Oh,
single one of us.
that's hilarious. Poor thing. That's an awful. Like I feel like that would just be an awful time. Oh my. Someone on the side it says, "Did you really think you were going to be able to get away from the cameraman when you streaked? And are you really that bad at pong?" Oh, that's funny.
Just so we know, I'm fairly certain that that ping pong table was not regulation size. So, had it been a normal size ping pong table, I think I would have done way better. And
Yeah.
God, I really did try to get away from that camera, but I think I turned a corner and there was another camera waiting for me, so I was not getting away. They had me
I was about to say they have cameras in that house all the time. Like
everywhere.
you can't get away from that. They even have cameras in the bathroom as long as they can't see anything.
Yeah, as long as they can't see anything, they have the cameras in there. Yep, I
Yep.
wasn't
That's
getting away from
insane.
anyone. So,
Well, your bathroom doesn't have a door this year, does it? Like the actual toilet?
no, our bathrooms had doors to the toilets. It's just
Oh, did it?
I like to pee and poop with the door open. I like to talk to people, so I never shut the door. I like to have conversations, and I never shut the door. So
That's
ask
funny.
him about it. He got really upset with myself and the other girls because he's a firm believer that girls don't poop. So
Who was that?
Bruno.
Oh Lord, that's funny. Um, let's see, what else? What else? Oh, Shady asked, did you ever cook in the house? And if so, what was your favorite meal?
I did cook in the house. I'm actually a fairly decent cook. Although I didn't really get a lot of opportunities to do so. We rarely, I mean, if we're not work, we're getting ready to go out. So, I mean, I think I cooked tacos a lot. I made hamburger helper.
It's a good hangover food right there.
It is a good hangover food. And I am a ramen noodle extraordinaire. So,
That's
you're
funny.
welcome, world, for the amount of ramen noodles that I made on the world.
Now, we know you guys can't have TV or phones or music in the house.
Right.
But now, so when you guys go out, obviously there's music and stuff like that. Were you guys ever allowed to go out besides the club? Like, did you guys go like grocery shopping or like to fast food restaurants?
Never to fast food restaurants, but we were allowed to go to the grocery stores. Typically, they only wanted us to go to the grocery stores that we were cleared for, because once again, it's not just us going to the grocery stores; it's our camera crew too.
Yeah.
So they really wanted us to go to the grocery stores that we were approved in, although sometimes the grocery stores that we were approved for didn't have all the stuff we needed. So we'd end up having to go into other grocery stores, but we weren't allowed to talk. And
Oh.
normally we only had to go in one at a time. So
That's funny. Yeah, I just think that's interesting that you can't have like music or TV or anything in the house, but you can go to like the club where there's music. I don't know, it's just interesting.
yeah, I know, it's weird.
Yeah.
It was hard for all of us to get used to, some more than others.
Yeah. Well, I bet because you said no cell phones either, right?
No, no cell phones. The cell phones that they did give us were only allowed for like pictures and videos.
Oh, okay.
Although you speak to Tony Raines about that, and he can tell you that he somehow managed to finagle the thing to where it got to iTunes Music, and he would like sit out on the patio and like listen to it, trying to hide it from the production. And of course, the producers come out, they're like, "Hand it over."
That's hilarious. Now, did you get we don't really see production much, but we know they're there all the time. Did you guys actually like talk with them or was it kind of just they were there?
No, no, no. We were not allowed to speak to our camera crew or production, so we had to pretend that they weren't there. Even though we knew they were, we had to just go about our business like they weren't.
That's funny. I know it changes all the time because a few years ago you would see like on the shit they should have shown episode they'd be like doing pranks on the production basically.
Oh, oh, don't get me wrong. We're not supposed to. I think this year they actually said that we were the worst. Most casts like typically get used to the fact that they know the production's there. They don't really talk to them. Not us. We literally would try and talk to them every single day. And they would get so mad at us.
Well, I feel like I would feel bad like walking into a room and being like just ignoring someone. I'd be like, "Hey, what's up?"
Well, I really hope they do show the shit that you should have seen, because Tony and Jason actually do a really funny prank on them, and it's so
Oh,
hilarious. So I hope that they do show that stuff, like the blooper
that's
reel. I hope they do.
I know. I like I don't know if you've seen it on the TV. It was like when the commercials are on and then there's like a 5 second clip in between of the
Yeah,
show. And
yeah.
they had the one with Jason dancing like his African looking dances.
Yes, yes, yes.
That was my favorite one, I'm not gonna lie.
I love those clips.
Me too. Those are funny. Those crack me up. Um oh, someone just asked a funny question piggybacking off the bathroom question. They said who stunk up the bathroom the worst? That's terrible.
Jason. Jason goes to the
Jason.
bathroom and worse. And let me tell you what this kid would do. He wouldn't poop because we got to the point where we just designated one girl bathroom and one guy bathroom,
Yeah.
so that we could keep the tampons and the pads in the girls' bathroom, and then the boys would just have theirs. Ours was a lot cleaner. It smelled a lot nicer. You want to know who would go to the girls' bathroom so he could poop? Jason.
Jason.
Oh my God. And I'd be like pounding on the door like, who's in there? I need to go pee. Jason
That's
comes out. Yes, load. And I'm like, no, why did you do that?
That's hilarious. That's so mean though.
I know.
Oh my. Now, who would you say was like the dirtiest person in the house?
Tony Raines
Tony Raines.
and Bubble and Madison. For the love of Christ, they could, I mean, if they lived together in like one house, that house would have clothes everywhere, Madison's Cheeto bags everywhere, Tony's Budweiser beers everywhere. Those two are the dirtiest. Although Madison kept her room dirty, but she kept everywhere else. Like, she would clean up everywhere else in the house. So it's just her room that was dirty.
That's hilarious. Someone said if any of your male roommates dressed up like a woman on a dare, who would be the best looking woman?
Funny that you say that. Keep watching. Remember when I talked about the Billy Wiggins?
There you
Just
go.
wait. Just wait.
Oh, that's funny. Did you ever, while you were on the show, did you talk to any men that you met like at the club or anything? We see a lot of like Bruno. We see with Carla. We never see any of the girls with anyone from the club though, really, except for Madison, I believe, so far.
All of us. I mean, we all talked to different guys. Actually, I had a guy fly out, and he actually came and hung out with me for a little bit. And so, yeah, I mean, we all talked to different guys. It's just a
Yeah.
matter of
If they were exciting.
Yeah, if they were exciting and if there anything interesting even happened. So yeah, it's a matter of that. And
Yeah.
I don't know. So you'll see. You'll see. There were only
That's
two
hilarious.
left standing in the house that did not hook up. So
Oh goodness. Great. Now, what were we all see everyone going crazy when Tony's skeletons both are there. What were your thoughts? Like, how did I don't know. I just had some interesting thoughts when I realized that he was hooking up with Madison. Then he's got Elizabeth coming in, and they're broken up. And then we got Alyssa over here, and then
okay,
we got Alyssa and Tony kissing when all the girls are there.
here's for one, I didn't know the laundry room happened. I didn't know they hooked up in the laundry room.
Oh,
Didn't know he made out with Alyssa. No idea.
that's funny.
I knew that he made out with Madison in the club. Uh, so it's like I didn't know any of that was going on, and it's crazy to watch it on TV and be like, when the hell did that happen? Where the fuck was I? Like,
Yeah,
so I think that's insane. And man, mad props to Tony for being able to juggle all three of the girls at the same time because I would not have been able to do that.
yeah, that's true. That's funny. Um, yeah, he's an interesting character. He's fun to talk to so far.
Oh, he's so funny.
I know. I like everyone this season though, for the most part. I had a few conflicts with Madison at first, but I think she's just really that happy all the time now. You know what
I
I mean?
think you wouldn't be the only one. It was a struggle for everybody in the house at
Yeah.
first to kind of get an understanding to her because even if we would say something, she'd just be like,
Yep.
and we're like, wait, we are trying to have a full conversation with you. Why are you doing that? So it was a struggle for everyone at first in the house to kind of get a grasp on what was going on up there. And
I
I
know.
slowly but surely, she gets better. She does. She gets better throughout the season. And even my friends back at home, they're like, how? How the hell did you deal with that? And I'm like, it gets better. I swear she gets better. So, yeah,
That's
she gets
funny.
better. She gets better.
Good. Have you had the chance to visit anyone since the show's been off?
Yeah, I actually just got back from Florida. I was
Oh,
with him for a while. Yeah.
very cool.
So he and
Now,
I, he's my rider.
aw. Now, how weird is it to just watch yourself on TV every week? Because I feel like it would
It's
be super awkward.
it is crazy to see myself every week on TV. Not just because you're seeing yourself, but some of the times I'm gonna level with you guys. I wasn't even coherent. Like the confessional episode, I
Oh
had
yeah.
no idea. I had no idea that that even happened the next day until Bruno told me, and I'm like, what? They're like, yeah. I was like, for the love of Christ, already. So I mean, and it's sad to say that we drink that much to where you know some of us really would forget, but I really didn't have a clue. So
Now, I remember when you were doing the streaking scene, you apologized to your mom or your grandmother or someone. What
mom,
were Are they watching the show
oh yeah,
every
they're
week?
watching it.
What
See,
was her reactions to the show so far?
the thing about that is after everything I did that I thought that she would be upset about, I called her. I was
Oh,
like,
okay.
hey mom, I just streaked. I just want to give you the heads up. So
Oh, okay.
I have a very good relationship with my mother. I tell her everything. So everything that's happened throughout the TV show thus far, she already knows about. She already
Oh,
knows.
well, that's good.
The thing is, she knows who I am. She knows who I am. So I don't have to hide anything from her.
That's awesome. At least you didn't like leave her hanging and she's
No,
like mouth wide open.
no, never that. She knows
Funny.
everything.
Oh, that's awesome. Are most of your friends and family watching the show then?
Oh, all of them.
Have they had really interesting reactions so far?
Nope, they all know who I am. I mean, I've been the same there as I would be here.
Yeah.
I'm crazy
Just a
and
little more
loud.
drunk, probably.
Just a little more drunk. Yes, just a little more. I got family in Texas, Nicaragua, everywhere watching. So I mean,
Oh, wow. That's
they
very
all know
cool.
who I am. So they know I'm crazy.
That's awesome. I know. I was about to say, you have to be a little crazy to get on these shows, though. They don't want any boring people on there.
That's what I'm saying.
Except for maybe last season, Thomas Buell. He's not boring, but he's just a little, he's always sleeping. So,
He was always sleeping.
he was. He slept through everything last season. I was laughing. Um, oh, someone else just asked, who would win in a dance contest between all of the roommates? That's a good question. Who was the best dancer? We
All
see you
right,
getting down. You're a good dancer.
let's. I can dance.
Mm,
Jason can dance. Madison does this like leg thing. Um, Nicole does this like
I've
So
seen that.
yeah, Tony's go-to move is
Really?
that's Tony's dance. Uh,
I think we've seen that too.
oh wait, so myself, Madison, Jason, and Bruno can dance. Nicole's is this, Tony's is this thing, and Violetta is if you hear the rhythm, it's anything off the rhythm. So you hear the beat, hers is like off beat. Her dance is like
Violetta cannot dance, is what you're saying.
yeah, pretty much, pretty much.
All right, she's a white girl dancer. Which is actually funny, because I would think that she would be a better dancer than Madison, just from, I don't know. That's just how I would see it. But
Yeah, but no. So it's Madison, myself, Bruno, and Jason. We can dance. Unfortunately, our other three roommates.
oh man, that's funny. You guys should have tried to teach them some moves.
Oh, later on, well, no, I guess not. Later on the show, I hope they show this part. Madison and I came up with a pretty awesome routine. So.
Oh goodness. Um. Oh, we saw the wolf pack form. Someone said, were there any other little cliques or named cliques?
So you had the wolf pack, and then you had the
Yep.
part-time wolf, which is Tony, and then you had the kitty cat pack, and that was myself, Violetta, and Madison.
That's funny. Poor Tony. He wasn't really in either one. He was just like halfway in.
And the reason why he was halfway is because he spent a lot of time with Madison. So they're like, no, he cannot be in the wolf pack. He's a part-time wolf.
That's hilarious. Now we see. I'm pretty sure Tony's the oldest in the house.
Tony's the oldest. Yep.
Now, who was the youngest? I asked Jason, and he didn't know.
Nicole's the youngest.
Is she?
Hmm.
Oh, I would think Madison. She just looks youngest.
No,
But
yeah, Madison's the second youngest.
oh, okay. Well, I didn't know Nicole was that young. I like Nicole though.
Yeah, I love Nicole. She's my wife.
I know she's funny.
She's
Like
so
just.
funny, and she is so good. She's got such a good heart.
Mhm.
You know, as I said, I've had a rough couple of days with all the backlash on Twitter and Instagram and whatnot, and man, she's been there to say some really uplifting things. So she's
That's wonderful. So we have a little, probably like 10 minutes left.
okay.
So I want to open up the floor to you real quick, just about your everything that we've seen in the last week in the episode. Is there anything you want to kind of say to fans, supporters, haters, anyone watching about everything that went down? Just kind of give you a form.
All I can say is that you guys are seeing a small percentage of what was filmed. Like we were there for 3 months. We were filmed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You guys are maybe seeing 5% of that entire 3-month process. So, well, you might think that things we did were wrong, the things we did were mean, they were cruel. You haven't seen everything yet, and you're not going to see everything that was actually filmed. So, say all the mean things you want. Later on down the road, when you see that we are actually all a family, we do all actually help each other out. All those mean things that you guys said, I really hope that you can take them back. And if you don't, then that's on you. But we're not terrible people. We may have acted irrationally. We may have not all done things that we're proud of. And it's not just myself, Violetta, but later on in the season, I think each and every one of us have done something that we're not proud of on the show. And we've all grown from it. We all are still a family. We still talk almost every day. So I can only hope that you guys can respect that and realize that this was all filmed almost 6 months ago. So
Yeah.
thank you for what it's worth.
Very true point. If you took one thing away from this whole experience, what is like the most important thing you've taken from this experience?
Man, God, somebody asked me that when I very first got back, and I here I'm in my comfort zone and around all my friends. They know I am. I'm never angry. I'm always happy. I'm always positive. But then you're being thrown into a position where you don't know anybody. You are out of your comfort zone. People don't know which buttons to push and which buttons not to push. So you do flare off and get hot-headed and temperamental sometimes. I think if anything that I need to work on, that going there pushed me to realize is that for the love of, I need to let go of everything that has happened to me in my past with my ex, with my dad, with the things that I've seen through both of them. And that's something that I have been trying to work on internally and really trying to get a grasp on and working on that. But I think the hardest thing for me is letting go of all that stuff that is weighing on me and making me an angry person. So it's been something that I'm really, really trying to work on. And I think that's definitely one of the major things that I've taken from the show.
Very cool. You need to just sing the Let It Go Frozen song to yourself every day.
I try.
I'm telling you, that song.
It's hard. It's harder than what you think to be able to just let go of all that anger that has been
I
built up,
know.
and you can't even express it to the people that you want to express it to. So it's just hard to let it go. So
Yeah, understandable. It's always hard when you have to work on yourself because no one
yeah,
wants to think that they're not where they need to be.
right, right. So
Um, a fan just asked an interesting question. If you were to do a challenge, and you had to pick one male or one female roomie from your season, who would you pick?
one male or one female roomie to work. Okay, so whew, this would be tough. Okay, if I had to do a challenge with one of the female roomies, it'd have to be Nicole or Violetta. I
Okay.
can't. Don't make me choose. 'Cause I'm not, if it was more of an athletic one, it'd definitely be Nicole. If it was more of like brains, because Violetta's smart as shit, it'd be Violetta. If it had to be a boy, God, that's so Jason or God, I hate to say it, maybe Bruno. I'm not sure about Tony because I'm not sure he'd be way too drunk and then his meniscus acts up. He'd have to get inside himself, tell the meniscus, hey, meniscus, I need you to get it together. We got a challenge to win. So I'm not sure. That's too hard. Too hard.
Yeah. And then if you could team up with any challenge legend, who would you pick?
Who challenge legend?
I feel like you have to pick CT because that would be your
Yeah,
mom's favorite.
yeah, I would have to pick CT. My mom would make me. She'd be like, CT, I already made the decision for you, Chiona. Go on.
I know, right? All right, so we do this fun little game. I don't know if you're familiar, but I'm going to give you three options. You can either marry, hook up, or kick out of the real world house. And here's the three names: Tony, Bruno, or Jason. You have to pick one of the three for each one.
Oh, no.
It's a fun little game we do with everyone on here.
It's terrible. Okay, I hate this game. I play it all the time. I'd marry Jason.
Okay?
Um, this is so hard. Do I have to make this decision?
It's just a game. No one's going to take it personal.
Tony's taken, so I'd have to kick him out of the house, and I'd have sex with Bruno. Or hook up with Bruno.
Yep, there you go. That's funny. So we only have a few minutes left, so I just want to say, what should we expect from the next couple weeks, the end of the season, basically?
The next couple of weeks, you guys are probably going to be, if you are as invested as we have been in this season, you are going to be in for an emotional roller coaster. You're going to cry, you're going to get angry, you're going to hate us, you're going to love us at points, but just know that all the things that we went through, those were our real feelings, our real emotions. Those tears you see being shed, those are real tears. The anger that we have inside, that's really how we felt. You have to understand that we're under a microscope, and to have cameras in your face all the time when you're going through something so hard is something really, really hard to deal with. And we can only hope that you just take it for what it is, but know that we have all grown from the process. So it's not going to be easy for you to watch. Probably won't be easy for us to watch, but it happened, and we've all grown from it.
I think Jason gave me a very similar answer. He was like, it's a roller coaster ride.
It is. It's
I think that's what he told me.
I like to say a glass house of emotion. So
Well, there you go. That's a good answer. And final thing, then, what are you supportive of your journey?
I'm sorry, you broke in and out. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. What would you want to say to everyone who's been supporting you? Like, not the haters, just the supporters and fans.
To everybody that is still stuck in my corner, even after last week's episode or this week's episode, thank you so much. I am reading all your nice comments. It's hard for me to get back to all of them. I appreciate them so much. I can't even explain to you with all the negative stuff that I've been reading. It's really, really nice to see the positive things that people are saying to me, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate that as a whole, because sometimes those negative things do get to you, regardless of if you want them to or not. So thank you. I hope you guys stay in my corner, and I appreciate all the love that I get from you, and please don't think that I don't recognize that, and please don't think that I don't see that, and I don't, really appreciate it, because I do. It's just hard for me to respond to everybody, so.
Yeah, I was about to say, you probably get like 100 tweets a day.
Yeah, so it's just really hard, and I just want everybody to know that I do appreciate everything.
That's funny. That's awesome. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciated having you, and we will definitely have you back once the reunion and all is aired, which I know.
Absolutely.
I was about to say,
Absolutely.
didn't you guys just go and do the reunion not that long ago?
We have not filmed the reunion yet, but it
Oh,
should
okay. For
be
some,
coming
oh, I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe that was a different. That might have been the challenge. I don't know.
out.
But anyway, we will have you back on anytime. You are welcome. Anytime you have something going on, just give us a call, text, whatever.
Awesome,
But
awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for having me. And
you're welcome.
Tell Charlie that he was awesome.
Tell who?
Charlie, our invisible friend.
Oh, his name is Shady. Close.
No, Charlie for Charlie's Angel since I can't see him.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that conversation. All right. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you so much. Bye, you guys.
Bye, guys.